Hello and welcome back to the KCC channel. I'm Rob and I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today we're jumping into some Tales from Retail. Our first story today comes to us from Maxalon. A customer is incensed he has to pay for what we do. An ongoing saga. Let's jump right in. In the interest of anonymizing the people involved, let's say this incident happened around the time the Death Star was built. Updates will be post-dated when they are released from the ancient archives. Cast, owner, lovely bossman who is gentle and kind, but has nerves of steel. Customer, someone who doesn't understand how business works. Me is me. Backstory, so I work with pew-pews. The laws where I work say that a pew-pew dealer holds the pew-pew until it's licensed to a person. For various reasons, this can be easy-ish or it can be hard. We charge storage at $1 per day to store a pew-pew. We have lots of people who happily leave their pew-pews with us for years at a time because reasons. Story, customer bought a pew-pew. It's a very nice one. They chose well. It arrived at the store 5 years before Death Star construction. They applied to license it and were denied. That sucks. They applied 2 more times, denied 2 more times. This took 4 years to play out. While this was going on, customer never paid storage. Owner called customer and told him fees were owed. Customer always promised to come in and sort it. To the surprise of no one, customer never came in and sorted it out. Now we can see the Death Star orbiting peacefully over our skies, and owner asks me to help. I message customer and let him know fees are due, and if he didn't want to pay fees, he could let us sell it to recover costs. He calls and says he didn't know he owed money, but he would come in and sort it out. Shockingly, he didn't. 8 weeks later, I messaged him again. I informed him that we needed payment within a week, or we would sell the pew-pew, deduct costs, and pass on the remainder. No answer. I gave him 2 weeks because I'm a nice guy. I messaged customer and told him we would be selling the pew-pew because he hadn't paid, and giving him the remaining balance. No answer. I advertised the pew-pew and had someone offer the full amount within the hour, which was 50% above his purchase price because collectibles. I messaged customer and informed him he had a few more days to pay storage or it would be sold. Phone rings. Customer is livid. He asks, how can I sell something that's not mine? He was never told he had to pay money for storage. He is taking this to solicitors, etc. I remind myself that with the Death Star overhead, all problems will soon be over. Customer says he will come to the store within a few days and sort it. Do not sell pew-pew. Owner said he will chat to customer and work it out. Not sure what archives will reveal about that chat, but I'm looking forward to it. Alright, to my listeners in the States, which is like 65 to 70% of people listening to this right now, what's the deal with this? Can you actually buy a pew-pew without first getting approval for a license? That doesn't seem right to me. I think I would have had a little bit more of an interesting conversation with this customer though. You never told me. Yeah, we did. When we called you, 8 times. Do me a quick favor, have a look down below the video. If that subscribe button's still red, it means you're not actually subscribed to the KCC channel. Please hit that subscribe button for more daily Reddit stories. Our next wall of text, story, comes to us from Ace Heister, Persistent Check Casher. Let's jump right in. Okay, so this happened to me yesterday, but according to coworkers has been happening since Friday. This took place at the gas station job, and it pertains to a certain customer determined to cash a check. It was a normal Monday night, which by that I meant 90% of our sales was alcohol, since the store is in a neighborhood full of alcoholics. We often get checks written over the amount for cash back, so I usually don't think too much about it, so long as they have an ID on hand. Well, this one lady came in and with a small handful of things to buy, delivered me a pre-written check well over the total for cashback. It raised numerous red flags right away. Here's the thing, our store is one of the few in my city that takes out-of-town checks, but we don't take checks from out of state, so if you have a check from Florida, you won't be able to use it here. Her check was from Minnesota, though her ID was out of this state. Second was that it wasn't a bank check. We will accept credit union checks only if the union is one from our town, but we don't take checks from out-of-town unions. I usually distrust pre-written checks, it's my own personal thing. I prefer to see the check written when people pay with one. It was over the total amount, on its own not bad, but the check was roughly $115 over. $40 is our max for cashback. It was written in red ink, and unless something changed, Banks can't accept checks in red because something about their systems. Save for pre-written, all of those are grounds to refuse because store rules. But when I explained it to her, good lord, you'd thought I hit her and then threw her dog off a bridge. She was offended and pissed and kept going on and on over how we always take her checks, how I'm so unreasonable and being an incredibly rude employee for refusing. I explained to her the rules again and specified that our owners specifically told us not to accept checks that did any of those things. Oh no, she wanted me to call the manager, claimed to be best friends with the manager. It was past 9 at night. Our manager would have been asleep because she does the 5 a.m. opening. I told her that no, I'm not going to wake my manager up for this. If you claim to be such good friends, then go ahead and call her. She didn't, of course. At that point, she had gotten some others' attention in the store, and one of our regulars in the casino had come out and was standing off to the side to see if he needed to intervene. He's a very big guy, but very nice, always steps in when our drunk customers get out of hand. I just told her she needs to leave. Instead of leaving with her dignity, she threw the check at me and said she'd be back for her money, that she'll call the owner, and that I can kiss this job goodbye, and I won't have any luck getting employed anywhere else with my attitude. Of course, she never came back my shift. I informed my boss and left a note for the manager in the morning. Found she's been coming in at different times these past few days, trying to find an employee who'd cash the check. Would have had better luck if the ink wasn't red. Oh, check cashing, it's so much fun. Back when I was managing the payday loan store, one of the things we did there was cash people's checks. I had a guy walk in one day with a $68,000 check, and he wanted to cash it at our store so that his wife didn't know anything about it. Whoa. What really did surprise me working there though was the amount of illegitimate checks that people try to get cashed. It is crazy. Our next story today comes to us from Strawberry. No, I can't reopen the registers. Let's jump right in. I manage the retail side of a video game and electronics store and repair shop. When we get phones in for repair, we tell them up front that the turnaround time is about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We especially emphasize this to the people that drop off around 2 hours before close. So today was a decent day, and we actually managed to get the store closed out by the time we closed at 7. Both registers counted and turned off for the night, trash taken out, everything cleaned for the night, money on its way to the safe. Our store phones automatically send calls to voicemail starting at 7, and one call tonight just managed to sneak by all of 5 seconds. So I did the kind thing and picked up. This is how that went. Store name, this is Strawberry. How can I help you? Y'all close at 7, right? Yes, we close at 7, and we are technically closed for the night. Well, I dropped my phone off for repair. Check's name, yep, I do have the phone right here, repaired and ready for pickup in the morning, as our registers are already closed for the night, and with how the repair system works, they do have to be rung through the register. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I live 30 minutes away. I have work in the morning. I need my phone tonight. I'm sorry, our registers are closed for the night. I was also present when you dropped the phone off and did hear the associate let you know that the repair would be completed sometime between 6:30 and 6:45 and to be in the area around then, yelling to someone in the background. And now she's acting like she doesn't even care, and you know damn well she'd be doing everything to get her phone back. Then to me, y'all only called me 10 minutes ago. I don't live 10 minutes away. You need to open the registers back up. I have the cash, I can just give it to you. I did also check with the technician, and it looks like according to our records, we reached out to you around 6 p.m. tonight. I'm very sorry you're not able to pick it up tonight. I need your manager or something. I am the manager. I've let you know what options you have, but unfortunately, I can't open the registers and store back up. I'm leaving y'all a 1-star review, and I'm never coming back to y'all again. Sorry to hear that. Is there anything else I can do for you? More yelling in the background. Okie dokie, have a great night. Hangs up. After I hang up the phone, about a minute later, the new voicemail alarm goes off. Then again 2 minutes after that, meaning she tried to call back 2 more times and left angry voicemails when she couldn't get through. It was very clear that she was still at home when she called, which would have meant me keeping my staff here for, at minimum, 45 extra minutes past their scheduled end time because we can't close alone. Poor planning on your part does not necessitate an emergency on mine. Oh, come on, you've got to have some fun with that. When the customer says they're never going to come back, you ask them, oh, does that mean we own your phone now? Can we sell it and get pizza, please? Our next story today comes to us from Fluid Assignment 837. You should have explained why I am late better. Let's jump right in. I used to work in a store that sold glasses and also did sight tests. I was working the reception desk one day, and this lady comes in with 4 kids and a cast on her leg. She tells me that she has appointments booked for all 4 children. So I check the system and see that she's actually about a half hour late. Each appointment is only allotted a 15-minute slot on a rolling basis. So if one appointment starts late, every appointment after that is also going to be late. She had the 4 kids booked in one after the other, but because she was a half hour late, they had essentially missed the first 2 appointments. I relayed all of this information to her and said that we would be able to see 2 of the kids, but that we didn't have time to see all 4, as the first 2 appointments had been missed. I'll now refer to myself as M and her as C for customer. The discussion goes roughly as follows. Well, it isn't my fault I'm late, the bus was late. I understand, but unfortunately those first 2 slots have been missed. Can't you just squeeze them in? I'm sorry, but unfortunately not. There are no more open slots this afternoon. Why can't they just see all 4 of them in 30 minutes? 30 minutes will not be enough time to adequately perform all 4 tests, I'm afraid. Stands there huffing and looking annoyed. I'm sorry to rush you, but I need to know if you still wish to keep the other appointments, as you are now beginning to run late for those as well. Oh, this is ridiculous. Why would I want to have appointments for only 2 of them? What's the point in that? Okay, should I just go ahead and cancel the other 2 then? No, can you not call upstairs and tell them it isn't my fault I'm late and see if they can see all of them? Ma'am, I can call upstairs if it would make you feel better, but they are going to say the same thing. Just do it. Just for context, the appointments were done on the first floor of the building. Currently, we were on the ground floor. Once I had checked people in, we would send them upstairs. So I called up basically explaining that this lady was 30 minutes late, but wanted to know if there was any way we could fit in all 4 kids. As expected, they checked the system and told me the exact same thing. No other slots available. We could only fit in 2, by now probably only 1, of the 4 kids. Once I got off the phone, I told her the result of the discussion and she went mad. Oh my god, you didn't even tell them it wasn't my fault. You didn't tell them the bus was late, and you didn't tell them about this. Gestures to leg and cast. It took me longer than usual to get here. That isn't my fault. You don't even want to help me. I won't be coming back here again. Then she stormed out, slowly because of the cast, with her kids in tow. I mean, I will never understand people who take so little responsibility for themselves. This woman managed to plop 4 kids out of her, but can't accept that if she is walking slower because of a cast, then she should have maybe planned ahead that it might take her longer to get places. Also, if you are late for your appointment, we don't care whose fault it is. I cannot change time. It isn't a personal slight against you when we tell you that you're late. It's a very simple and basic fact. I don't need intimate details about your life and all the reasons you are late. It is irrelevant. If you're late, you're late. All I care about at that point is whether I can fit you in or not. And whoever's fault you think it is that you're late, I don't care about that either. It certainly isn't mine. Oh yes, absolutely. Allow me to inconvenience everybody else who has an appointment after you today, and we'll just take the last 2 people, and they can come in tomorrow. No problem. Oh, does your leg hurt? Let me get you a chair. Would you like a massage? Can I look after your kids while you're here? What else can I do for you today, Karen? Because you seem to be all that really matters. Our last story today comes to us from PG Liberal. Our patience is not unlimited. Let's jump right in. When I sold cars, I had a customer come in on a Grand Cherokee Limited. We had one left over that was new, but a previous model year with a significant discount. This was the last one at that price. Well, the customer bought it. He had inspected the vehicle prior to purchase, as he was a bit picky on its condition. But hey, he was spending good money on the vehicle. When our lot tech went to go grab the vehicle to be detailed, the lot tech took a turn too sharp and rubbed up against a concrete barrier. The passenger side door paint was all jacked up and was obviously in need of repair. The customer was informed and we went over his options. At this point, he was not the owner of the vehicle, and if he wanted to, he could back out. So his options were as follows: back out of the deal completely and walk away with his trade, deposit, etc. we'd let him change to a different vehicle and he'd get $1,000 extra off. We'd repair the vehicle at our body shop. In addition, we'd discount the car another $500. We'd allow him to have another shop of his choosing repair the vehicle with a max cap of $500 in repair. In addition, we'd discount the car an additional $500. Both repair options involved him keeping his trade until the repair was complete so he'd have a vehicle to drive. He opted for option C, so he took off in his trade and we told him we'd call him in the morning after our body shop gave us a time estimate on how long it'd take to fix. He agreed and left. Next day we called him and told him how long it'd take to fix, and he said fine, he'll come back in then to make sure it's all good. A few days later the repair is completed, I inspect it, looks good, my GM inspects it, looks good to him, repair was perfectly fine. He comes in and immediately complains the paint doesn't match. We explain the paint does match, our body shop is certified, and this is a brand new car we work on often. We ask him to point out where the paint doesn't match. He's unable to point it out because the paint does match. Then he goes on about how we need to discount the vehicle more since its value has been diminished. We ask him what he's talking about. He says when a car is in an accident, you get a check for the reduced value. We point out the fact that the total repair was under $500. Also, the accident wasn't reported as we dealt with it in-house, so it'd never pop up on Carfax or anything like that. Long story short, he takes the vehicle. A week later, he calls me and tells me he's not happy and he wants to get the vehicle fixed at another repair shop. I go to my manager, and my manager really doesn't want to say yes, so my manager tells him that he needs to pick a repair shop and I will go with him. If the repair shop says that the paint matches, it's final and done. If the repair shop says the paint doesn't match, we will pay the shop to make the paint match. He chooses his repair shop, which is a well-known body shop in the area. He picks me up, we go to the repair shop. Repair shop, who is independent of us by the way, looks at the vehicle and says they can't tell the door been painted, the paint matches. To which he asks the repair shop if the fact the door had been in an accident would reduce the value of the vehicle. The shop even backs us up by saying no, cause you can't tell. And unless we filled an accident report or made a claim with insurance, which we didn't, it wouldn't even show up. He's frustrated at this point because the shop won't agree the paint doesn't match cause the paint did match. We go back to my dealership. He's not happy. My GM makes the unusual gesture of saying, we still have your trade. If you want to return the vehicle, we will unwind the deal. You take your trade back and we part ways. He goes, no, I just want you to make things right. To which my GM basically says, we let you pick an independent repair shop. They agree that the paint matches. The paint matches. If you're still unhappy, let's just take your car back, we give you your trade back, and we go our separate ways, because it's quickly becoming obvious you won't be happy. He doesn't want to do that and he leaves. 2 weeks later, he calls me. By this point, his car is fully registered and titled, meaning if we took it back, it'd be treated as a used car. He wants us to refund $1,000 for his troubles. We tell him no. He then asks if we can unwind the deal. We'd take a massive financial loss if we did that, and we tell him no. The back and forth gets heated, and I'm exhausted, so I hang up on him, which was wrong of me. He then complained. His complaint quickly escalated to the dealership owner. I was told the owner was going to meet with the customer, which was very rare, and it was likely I'd be suspended for 5 days. Apparently, in the meeting with the owner, things got heated. The owner made him an offer which included $500 refund, plus he can have the repair shop that we went to repaint the door again, just to be safe. The counter apparently was $500 refund, plus he can have the repair shop repaint the door at our expense, and my termination for disrespecting him. That last part rubbed the owner the wrong way. So the final offer was, the customer is blacklisted from ever doing service, warranty work, or purchasing another vehicle from us, and he gets absolutely nothing in terms of compensation. My GM called me aside and told me I should feel lucky that the customer royally pissed off the owner and that I wasn't going to get suspended. Oh yes, Mr. Customer, I just want to give you this free car right here because it was such an inconvenience for you to have a little bit of work done on that door, and oh my gosh, it doesn't look the same anymore. Oh, how can we make it better for you? Here's a free car, here's $10,000, have a good day. Yep, I think a little bit of sarcasm might be coming through from me on this video. Sorry. Check out all 5 OPs linked in the description down below. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.